Alright, so in this tutorial we are going to look at the transient simulations in Advanced Design System, the ADS. So we have the ADS window open, and I have all my workspaces here and some of the folders that contains many workspaces. For example, here I have 2 workspaces in that folder. So all those workspaces are here. And our recent workspace should also be here, the tutorial DC that we were doing a moment ago. So now we will open a new workspace and we'll call it tutorial, and let's call it TRAN. So we are going to do a tutorial on transient analysis, so that's why I'm calling it TRAN. And everything is set up. I will choose this mill layout for now. And excuse me. Oh, I accidentally closed that workspace, so it should be here somewhere. Tutorial, just double click on that one and it will open up that tutorial a transient workspace again. So to add a schematic, just click here and let's call it tutorial and TRAN, and let's call it RC network. So tutorial transient on RC network, and create a schematic. So we have this schematic window, and we are going to do simulation. We are going to do an example on RC circuit. So we will grab a resistor and a capacitor from here, and then while this is active I will press Ctrl R to rotate it, and maybe it looks better this way. Ctrl R a couple of times, and then I will apply a pulse source in this case. So I will pick up pulse source not from the frequency domain because I don't see any pulse here, or there is, but let's check this source here, something in time domain source. So pulse here, okay, so it is here. So you can pick, I guess, from any of those places. They both look similar. So just move this one here, and again press F5 and click here on this one to move this text. There are just so many parameters. I will explain all those parameters in a moment. And then complete this circuit, and don't forget a ground connection here, because that is one of the major source of error in circuit simulation. People often forget that. And let me type in the name, type out, and then this one is N node. Let's say that the escape, let's say that this is 1 kilo ohm again, and my capacitor is 1 microfarad. So 1 kilo ohm and 1 microfarad capacitor. So that corresponds to a time constant, which is product of R and C. So 1K multiplied by 1 micro, that is 1 milli. So the time constant here is 1 millisecond. So maybe insert in somewhere here text, and I can write time constant is equal to RC, which is equal to 1 millisecond in this case. Enter. Oh, not enter. Just click outside and press escape. So time constant in this case is equal to RC is equal to 1 millisecond. So I know that in 5 time constant the capacitor will almost reach to the full level of this voltage, and in another 5 time constant it will decrease when the this input voltage goes down. Now I will explain some of these parameters once we complete the simulation. For now, you should be looking at this video, and I will put the video link in the description below. Here I explain actually the pulse waveform, general pulse waveform, and what is the meaning of different parameters. And this is valid for LTS spice, but the similar description also holds true for other software like Keysight. So I will strongly encourage you to go ahead and watch this video before watching this tutorial on Transient in ADS. Now let me enter some of the parameter and then I will briefly explain some of these things here. Rise time is, say for example, 1 microsecond. Fall time is 1 microsecond, and the width of the pulse I will pick that as 5 millisecond because I wanted to allow it 5 time constant so that the capacitor gets fully charged, and then 10 millisecond for the period, total period. So this is set up now, 0 volt to 5 volt. This pulse goes from 0 volt to 5 volt, and delay is 0. It means it starts just after the origin, and I will explain that pictorially in a moment. Rise and fall time I will explain. Width is 5 milliseconds, so the on period, the high period is the time for which this is on, high, it is 5 millisecond, and 10 millisecond is the pulse repetition width, the period. So this one is set up now, and then I will go and pick up the transient simulator, so simulation time, simulation transient. Here it is, and just bring one of the simulation controller and type in, for example, the stop time. So for how much time you wanted to simulate the circuit for. So I know that the time period is 10 millisecond, and suppose I'm interested in looking at the 2 cycles of this, so 2 time periods. So I will simulate this for 20 milliseconds. Then maximum time step. So remember that in the transient analysis in a SPICE-like simulator, the step size is dynamically chosen by the simulator. So all that you can define here is that how much is the maximum time step you will allow it to take. So sometime it will, depending upon the response it is getting, it will sometime take larger step size, sometime lower step size. If there is larger step size, it might skip some of the peaks. So you should generally limit. You will be required to limit the time step. So if you leave it by default and you are simulating in terms of millisecond and your time step is nanosecond, it's gonna take a lot of time to simulate. So if you are working in millisecond, it's a good idea to put something in microsecond, like 1,000 times smaller or so. So let's say like 10 microsecond. So a stop time 20 millisecond because my time period is 10 millisecond and I wanted to see response for 2 time periods, so 20 millisecond, and 10 microsecond because I am working in millisecond. I will put something in microsecond levels. Don't go beyond that. Otherwise it will miss some of the peaks. So this is fairly good enough. It varies from circuit to circuit, but in most of the cases this approach will work. So the circuit looks like fully set up now, ready for simulation. So just hit save button and then hit this transient simulator or F7, and I'm expecting a graph like so. So I will just plot input because of the reason I will explain in a moment, not the output here. And then I will take another rectangular tab and I will plot output. Normally I plot them side by side but the reason I'm doing this is because I have to explain to you the various parameters of the SPICE. So so some of the parameters that you see in this circuit is the low and high level. So this value of the input is 0 and this high value is 5 volts. So this is what those 2 parameters corresponds to, V low and V high. Then we have the delay of 0 nanoseconds. So what it means is the waveform will be high so this is the origin, and waveform will appear high just after the origin because there is no delay from here to that rise of the pulse. If it were delay, if you put that for example 2 milliseconds, what you will see is that the graph, this input voltage is 0 up to 2 milliseconds because the delay is 2 milliseconds, and then it will go up to this high level. So that's what the delay parameter is. I explained this pictorially much better in this video, and I will urge you to watch this video to get to know all these different parameters nicely explained there in that video. Then we have the rise time. here we have the rise time and fall time. So edge, I will explain in a moment. Then rise time and fall time of 1 microsecond. So what it means is, because like we wanted this kind of graph, but normally you cannot have this kind of graph. So if you zoom in really into this portion, you will see that in fact it is silented, because the unit is millisecond and we have a rise time of microsecond, so it's 1,000 times smaller. So you cannot you cannot see it here unless you zoom it really really zoom in into this figure. So the rise time basically corresponds to this rise of the edge and this rise of the edge, and because it's linear, so the edge is defined as linear there. Then the width that we are calling there, it is basically the t-on for how long this width is in the highest state. So that's the width or t-on, and then the time period is that repetition interval. So that explains pretty much everything about this pulse. And if you watch that video on LTSpice, it will become more clear. So what we see from here is that the pulse is high and low and high and low input, and we have left this input pulse to be on for 5 milliseconds, and in 5 milliseconds you can see from here that the capacitor basically charges fully up to almost 5 volt, 99.99%, and then in next 5 milliseconds the pulse is low, input is low, it is off, so therefore the capacitor will discharge again exponentially and goes down here. Okay. So for example, if I didn't want to give this although time constant for circuit is 1 millisecond, and I don't give this circuit that much time, so it won't get fully charged. So suppose my width or the t-on period is 2 milliseconds, and now if I simulate this, you'll see the difference. So you see how this capacitor is not able to charge fully up to 5 volt because we didn't allow it we didn't allow the input voltage to remain high for 5 time constant. Before it reaches 5 seconds, it basically comes down, and therefore the capacitor starts discharging and fully discharges in the next 5 seconds or so, and it remains discharged because the input is low, and then again the input voltage goes high, so capacitor starts charging exponentially. So I hope that this explains how to perform the transient simulation, and of course you can just plot them side by side and make this 2 point and make this 2.2 so that it looks nice, and you can also change all these fonts and everything in units. So I hope this you found this video useful on how to perform transient analysis using Pathwave ADS. If you have any question, please feel free to put that in the comment. Thank you very much for watching this video.